fix the problems that HP had created. I bought a new AMD computer made in China. We're talking about several 100,000 jobs that went to China for just the printers and computers alone. I mean, this is insane. Obama says, well, those jobs are lost, we can't bring them back. The hell we can. Put a 25% tariff against China, just like the one they have against us. If you watch how fast the American companies come back here.
Well, I share your concern about the inequity of dealing with China, which is one of the points that I made about the growing debt we have there, and their ability. They also manipulate their currency to make it disadvantageous for us.
7,000 companies in this country that overseas because of the stupid trade policy. You know, the Congress office is required to go into every department store. I look at the lady on Channel 6, when you go to the house. We'll take everything out of the house that's not made in the United States. The only thing left is the kitchen sink. They also said that 98% of our clothing is not made overseas, where every community used to have a company that made clothing. We lost over 20 million jobs, these stupid trade policies.
I'm concerned about jobs that are going overseas. I'm concerned about jobs that are enticed to stay overseas. One of the things I'm working on right here that I think has an impact on a lot of people in this region, but again, it goes back to a tax policy. We've got businesses that are operating overseas and they're making profits in foreign countries. One of the issues I'd like to see is that I'm supporting a bill that would allow us to repatriate some of those foreign profits to bring them back here into the United States to create jobs and create opportunity here in the United States, to bring them back at a reduced tax rate. But it also, what's that?
You're not going to do it to change that tariff. As long as they bring in the product for nothing, CEOs are going to be more overseas. You know, I bought pharmaceuticals. They're all made in China and India.
There's a perfect example. That's exactly the bill that I'm beyond when you say the pharmaceuticals. And let me tell you why I think it has an impact here in this district as well. You know yourself from living in this area how many people are employed in the life sciences area and how critical the pharmaceutical industry is to employment in this region. Now, that's not an issue for the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, I sued the pharmaceutical industry as a U.S. attorney. I wasn't afraid to take them on, but also appreciating that right up the street throughout this region, there will be thousands of jobs that are at stake in this region with respect to the ability of those companies to prosper. And in fact, as an example of the kind of industry which we still have, primarily here in the United States, in which we can continue to be and are the ones that are on the cutting edge development of product that would bring things back here, that would bring resources back here to the United States, to ourselves. We ship those overseas and gain on that. One of the things that I'm trying to do is allow these profits to be returned to the United States, but they must be invested in research and development. They must be invested in hard assets here in the form of construction and other kinds of things that will utilize our researchers, that will utilize and allow us to continue to do cutting-edge research and create the kind of products that we can then sell overseas and continue to create an impact on that balance of trade. That's what we're talking about. I'm going to stay until 11 o'clock, like I said. We have 5 minutes to finish this time. I'm going to go to that in a second.
If you want to bring jobs back to the country, lower the corporate tax. Lower the corporate tax to get jobs back here. Number two, if you want to review the tax code, the top 1% of the taxpayers pay 40% of the federal income tax. 50% of the people in this country do not pay federal income tax. And when it comes to the military, they have been cut back. Right now, the Navy, which is close to my heart, and I got 2 other veterans sitting back here, the Navy is down, force level is down below pre-World War II levels. Our military's been cut enough.
FEMA is down to about $800 million left in its bank account. We just had a hurricane, and so there's going to be a lot of expenditures. We just started the new hurricane season. Really, there's going to be more to come. The majority leader said that any new expenditures on disaster relief have to be matched by cuts elsewhere in the government. And I wanted to know your position. Okay. I wanted to know your position on that.
Well, one of the things that we need to be doing across the board is looking at when we are looking at new expenditures and trying to find ways to pay for them. So we will go back to Washington and try to figure out how that can be done. When we are $1.4 trillion in debt, one of the issues we've got to figure out is how to continue to operate without borrowing 42 cents of every dollar that we spend. So the issues are going to be, we will find dollars and look for ways to see. I will support the idea of trying to make sure that we cover the responsibilities through FEMA. We're going to have to find ways to make sure that we can cover those within our budgets.
You mentioned a family in this.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm going to respectfully ask that you respect other people's opportunities to ask some questions. Thank you. Yes, ma'am, in the back.
I'm with the St. Vincent de Paul Society, and we run food coverage. We do lots of other things. My husband and I, along with a group of volunteers, run a food coverage at Blessed Virgin Mary's Church in Darby. The reason that I'm here is because I can't make any of our other meetings. And I just want to know what can be done about the decrease in the amount of funds that they've already been cut. And I will tell you that our food covered, and in all of Delaware County, we have not had meat, chicken, tuna fish to give to our people. And it's not just the St. Vincent de Paul Society, it's each covered in Delaware County. So I'm sure that the other counties are having the same problem. We had meat the last time donated to us from we get government supplements. We also get church food and different organizations. And I even have statistics here. The latest one for August, we have, that's not a very good statistic, here we go. During the month of August, we had 259 people come to our small church, okay? And of that, the children, adults, and seniors amounted to 1,108 people that we fed during that month. And we could not even give them meat. We just had mostly canned goods. And what I want to know is, can you somehow squeeze out some money for the poor? All the things that were spoken about today are included in those kind of things, because these people are out of work, or they're working 2 jobs, or they're working 1 job that they can't afford to take care of their families. So, can we rely on you to try to get some cuts for the poor?
Well, first, let me say thank you for the service that you're putting in with your time. And I don't completely understand how those things are funded by federal government dollars. I do understand the program that you are talking about to some extent. My last automobile went to the St. Vincent de Paul Society, but we, my wife cooks, and not on every meal basis. And we have 3 boys, and they're often, and my wife is a nurse. We will go to church on Sunday and take back the tins, and we cook for next time. And oftentimes on weekends we'll bring it to the parish and we put it in the freezer and they're picked up by folks like you, probably walking down to.
What about the federal government?
Some of the ways that we'll try to do it. As we look at programs across the board, these are the decisions we do our best to try to make sure that we don't lose sight of those who are most in need. Thank you so much for your time.